Bismillah and technology. Word of learning. Yeah? So we can't go on the radio, yeah? We can start this, innit? Yeah. Okay. I think, yeah. It's you check the app, is it on? But just keep watching if it goes off. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. فاتحة إلى حضرة النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب الضالين آمين. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Qasim, you tell that boy he's got a lesson, by the way. He's just yeah. No. Marhaban, welcome to this evening, inshallah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in our endeavor, which is to try to run a number of different sessions on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays and the Sundays, where I'll have the honor of trying to teach. And then on the Mondays and the Fridays, Shaykh Saleh will come and deliver the Tawheed Essentials. So inshallah you intend to do i'tikaf in this masjid and learn something inshallah which will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we've chosen for the Tuesday evenings is a really beautiful book, which is probably one of the first books I bought from the Ma'rad in Damascus in 1999. And I didn't even know what it was. I just remember one of our teachers, Shaykh Jihad Brown, he said, "This is a good book, take it." So I bought it, and it was a 4-volume book, which is called Kitab Muntaha Sul, okay, Ala Wasa'il al-Wusul, and it's a commentary by a Yemeni scholar on a wonderful primer text in the Shama'il by Shaykh Yusuf Nabhani, and I have a copy of that. It's a beautiful book, and this was a commentary. So I've never really used it since then, apart from here and there. There's a great opportunity in the last chapter, which is about du'as. So it's called the Khatima, the final chapter. تشتمل على 70 حديثا أكثرها الصحاح وحسان من أديته صلى الله عليه وسلم. It's a compilation of 70 hadith of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, which are sort of strong or good. And but before that, he lists all the ayahs of the Holy Quran where du'as have been mentioned. However, the unfortunate thing is that the text which is in the market, because you've got a commentary on that book, Wasa'il al-Wusul, by Shaykh Nabhani, this chapter is not in it. So that's quite sad. But it's widely available, and it's there for download. There's a PDF there. I'll send it. There's a PDF which is widely available with all the du'as, all the locations where du'as mention the Quran. However, the few that we found, they're not comprehensive. Like there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of ayahs missing. So he lists 49 ayahs. There may be more, possibly more, maybe less, wallahu alam, of total du'as that have been mentioned in the Quran. So what we're going to try to do is look at all those ayahs where there's a du'a, okay, Quranic dua, because here we have an ayah, but you come in, your class is on the side. Keep going. So we want to make dua, right? And we want to make dua. There's no better way than making dua like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, or given us guidance towards. So inshallah ta'ala, that's what we want to do. So I'm going to start with, I've put a few slides together. Now, I think, okay, that wasn't the plan. I thought I uploaded another text. Is that the only one up there? Is it? So, can I just check? Yeah, because I thought I'd uploaded it, updated it. So let me see if that other one's there. If not, we might have to do it live now. Can we still do it now? Or is it too late? Yeah, it might be slow, right? If I upload not the one I wanted, so this is the one. Maybe I didn't save the changes. So Bismillah. Okay, let's try it. Because it'd be better to do, I want you to see this one. So if I can try, give me a moment, and I'm gonna, because I went back and I tried to change it because I wanted you to have an introduction, right? So this one there, inshallah, straight away. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. Take this opportunity to send salatu wa salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If this happens quickly, great. If not, then what I'll do is I'll stick to what we have. Then I can always give you the slides afterwards, because it could take a while, right? But no, it's going well. So this is good. So I've put the ayahs there, but I wanted to put an introduction because he's got a beautiful introduction. There it is. Alhamdulillah. Insha'Allah. This is the one. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. This one. Good. But you get. Okay. So Shaykh. So there we go. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. So you might find the text sometimes it doesn't always come out the way you want it. But this ayah in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. You know, Allah is commanding us to make dua. It's amazing. Allah wants you to make dua. And Allah promises to answer your du'as. Astajib lakum. But you have to do that, right? We have to do that. We have to go and take the means, which is to turn our hearts to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then ask Allah. But sometimes we don't know what to ask. What should I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Some people are really good. They know what they want. I want this and I want that and so forth. But even those individuals, they may know what they want, but they're not always choosing what's best for them. Is that clear? Because you know what you want, but is that really the best thing that you should be asking for? So if you're going to make dua, perhaps the safest du'as to make are the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has alluded to in the Quran and you know, has taught us to make use in our du'as, or what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make dua by. But this first part for sure, you know, everybody should have dua in their life, and this is a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in this month, when I'm making dua, I have that in my mind. Why am I making dua? Because Allah told me to, and I'm fulfilling that command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's got great benefit. So وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. So this is the ayah that we take as a base. Now you've got types of du'as. You've got different types of du'as that author mentions. You've got, you know, we've got du'as that we make for the living, okay, and these du'as benefit them, and we mutually make du'a for each other, and there's fa'idah there. So du'as are not just for the living, but they're also for the dead as well. And so here I say to my son, Allah yarda alayk, may Allah be pleased with you better. Allah yahdeek, may Allah guide you, okay. And people benefit from these du'as. So many people here, their lives change as a result of somebody's dua. Sometimes they know who they are, and sometimes they don't even know who it is that made, you know, the course of their life change. But it was as a result of somebody's dua. And for sure we have dua for our deceased. You know, we go to the graveyard, we say, Assalamu alaikum ya dara qawmin mu'minin wa muslimin, wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahiqun. Nas'alullaha lana wa lakum al-afiyah. And we ask for you and for ourselves well-being, again, afiyah. Okay, so here we make dua for the deceased. We say, Allahumma ghfirli wa li walidayya. Okay, if they're alive or they're passed away, Quran teaches us adab, you know, make dua. And for all believing men and women. So we have Quranic du'as that encompass everybody. Is that clear? And we should have a share of that. We should have a share of dua for the living. We should have a share of dua for those who passed away. This is part of our faithfulness, you know, to our predecessors. You know, we make dua for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to honor ourselves for being part of that. You know, not that he needs our du'as. And we make dua for all the Sahaba. And I say, Allah be pleased with them. The mothers of the believers for what they did and how they served Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Sahaba and the Tabi'in, and we remember them. And we say it in summary, Allahumma ghfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat, and muslimina wal muslimat. What at the end you have, وَإِذَا رَبِّ جَعَلْنِي مُقِيمَ الصَّلَاةِ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي رَبَّنَا وَتَقَبَّلْ دُعَاء رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Get it? يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ. So here we make dua for everybody. You have, sometimes you make dua for, and sometimes your dua could be against what we call a la'na, lanat or curse. And we've been instructed not to make dua against anybody, you know. We sort of no name per se. And remember, your du'as can also extend beyond human beings. You could make dua for your car, your animal, you know. So here, sometimes people curse, they make dua against their own car, or their own animal, or their own house, or their own phone, and so forth. And the prophetic etiquette is not to make dua like that, you know. So here, this is where, so here you've got dua for and against. And you have to be careful for du'as against, because du'as against can be, sometimes people miss the, they can miss the, not miss the opportunity, and say the other way around. They could miss the sign that they've done something wrong, and they could become the recipient of somebody's dua. The Prophet ﷺ, he said in a hadith narrated by Sayyidina Anas, he said, Da'watul mazlumi, okay, mustajabah, walau kafira. He said, the dua of the mazlum, the one who has been wronged, oppressed, okay, mustajab is accepted, even if that individual happens to be a kafir, a non-believer. So that means I have to be careful that I don't do something which makes me a recipient of a curse. You get it? A curse. I remember somebody once said to me, a father was complaining about his son. He said, look, this Bewqoof, he's making dua against his own son. He goes, look, I raised him, I did this for him, I did all of this, and I gave him training in one of the arts, martial arts, and so forth, and he used it against me. Get it? He used that training and kicked his own father. SubhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala broke that individual's leg from two places. He broke his leg from two places. Just follow up from after he attacked his own father. And so here, sometimes people can be cursed by their own parents. It could even come from, somebody in the house. A sibling sometimes makes dua against a sibling. Why? Because they've been wronged. And so here, we don't want to wrong anybody. We might be wrong, but not intentionally. Is that clear? So there you have to be careful that you don't want to be the recipient. I see this a lot, and I might be wrong in my judgment, but I see where people, I know a case where somebody's not giving the money of somebody else, close, a sibling, not giving the money of his own sibling. And all his affairs are all over the place. And this is somebody who had barakah in their life. You get it? And I make this point to them and say, listen, it's quite obvious. Can you not see what's happening here? You should be giving that money, that rent is so-and-so's. And the fact that you're not giving it, you're wronging somebody. You're doing dhulm to somebody, you're taking their haqq. And so here, we have to be careful. We don't want that, especially in Ramadan, because we want dua. We want people to make dua for you. That's why you go and you do things. You say, go give a chair to the elderly, bring them water at Taraweeh, you bring a chair, you bring Quran, and you say, Allah bless you. You're looking for a dua, somebody's dua that will change the course of your life, inshallah ta'ala. Hunak, at the back, you can go this way. Yeah. No. So here, this is, so we say, you make dua for the living, you make dua for the dead, you make dua for humans, you can make dua for inanimate objects and so forth, and barakah from it. And the one you must be careful of the dua against, which is a curse. Now, prerequisites for the acceptance he mentions here, that there are shurut and adab for dua. Like everything, you can't have prayer without the prerequisites being fulfilled. And some of these are quite obvious. And sometimes people don't take them as serious as they should. Get it? Here, first one, eating halal. Get it? You must have halal in your system for your du'as to be accepted. Okay? And remember, this is the month of du'as. So I need to look, how long do I get my du'as answered? See? And so I make sure that everything that goes into my body, okay, and my children and my family and whoever else I'm responsible for, it's halal. And we know this from the famous hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. كيف يستجاب له? In that famous hadith, where this man is on his knees with his hands up, you got to beg in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah answer his du'as, and مطعمه حرام ومشربه حرام وغذي بالحرام. The Prophet tells us about, first way he describes him, this man looks really humble, broken, you get it, disheveled. We looked at him, you think proper faqir, you get it, not interested in this dunya, which is good, right? Somebody you think pious, mashallah, but it's not just about the way you look, you get it. There's a bit more than that. It's also really important what's happening inside. You see, so here, that's not enough. And so it's really important that your food is halal, and what you drink is halal, and what you're growing on is halal, and so forth. That's what the hadith is. And the Prophet mentioned, how is his dua supposed to be accepted? When everything that's going into his body is haram. So we have a real duty that if you want du'as to be accepted, there's prerequisites, there's conditions. Eating halal is one of them. We say aklul halali, and then the other one is an yad'uwa wa muqinun bil ijabah. You get it? That this is now adab of the heart. That when you make du'a to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you have complete conviction. You get it? That Allah will answer your du'a. Now there is an issue here with how our du'as are answered, because our definition of du'as are answered that if I ask for a house at a certain postcode, that it arrives, HB, whatever it is. That's what I ask for. Or I ask for a house and it comes the way I want it and so forth. But the definition of the Sharia seems like slightly different, that when du'as are answered, they're not necessarily the way you want it. The answering can come in different forms. Is that clear? Okay, we'll look at that in a bit. But here, when I make du'a and I put my hands up and I say, Ya Allah, forgive me. When I say that, in my heart I have complete conviction that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive me. Inshallah will forgive me. Is that clear? Because I'm asking him, he's asked me to come here. And so here, not like, Ya Allah, forgive me if you want to, Ya Rabbil Alameen. No. Make du'a. We've been taught by the Prophet, adab of du'a with conviction. Ya Rabb, forgive me. Ya Allah, remove my sins. Ya Allah, change my ways and so forth. Okay. Here, we're happy you brought here. Nice to see children. Alhamdulillah. Rahmah of Allah. We ask Allah through the innocence of the children, and the elderly, through the white hair of the elderly. Lots of white hairs here, mashallah, So inshallah ta'ala, through their barakah, Allah accept our gatherings. So here, number 2, conviction when making dua. Okay. And la yakunu qalbu ghafila. This is really important. People, when they make dua, sometimes they make dua really long, and then they can forget. They become heedless. Their mind starts to wander. Just downstairs. Yeah, the mind starts to wander. So they might start eating their nails if they've got a bad habit. They might start playing with their beard. Is that clear? Start doing other things. Okay, might be Ya Allah, forgive me, and checking the scores or something. Get it? And that's just really wrong, especially tonight. No need. Okay, here. Here, this is really important to remember that I'm asking Allah. Look at on a practical level, you're going to be praying Salah, Alhamdulillah, in Ramadan. In the end of your namaz, you make dua, don't you? What do you say? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad. That's a dua. You're making dua for Rasulullah. So you send salutations. If you are praying Salah, and your mind is somewhere else with kebab and pakore and mango lassi, where it's starting to go right now, watermelon. Forgot watermelon, okay? Here, it's not nice, is it? That on my tongue I have dua for Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In my heart I have something else. Then I turned, I said, Rabbi ja'alni muqima salah, muqima salati wa dhurriyyati. Allah, make me somebody established the prayer. But in my heart, that's not what's there. It's completely something else. And that's just really bad. You see, so here it's really important, inshallah, that in the month of Ramadan, that I'm in Taraweeh, we've got so many opportunities to dua that I just stay focused, especially the shorter ones. I should fight myself to try to stay focused. Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim. Yeah, no, it's not long, is it? So it's there. This is the benefit. You want to make it count, inshallah ta'ala. So here, you know, understanding the dua that you're making makes it easier to remain focused. This is why, if I'm correct, some of the Sahaba would pray really quickly. They said, why? They said so that their prayer would be focused. Get it? They wouldn't, their mind would drift. Get it? So the prayers were quite swift. Okay? And sometimes people are like, why, how can you pray so quickly? Or as if prayer has to always be long. No, the prayer has to count. So as long as it's there with the heart and mind, that's a better prayer than having a really long one where it's going off. Okay, and so here need to be not to be heedless when making dua, but you be careful. People start fidgeting. Is that clear? Like Imam start making dua, they're like looking at their hand and working out how much water is going to come their way and how many children they're going to have. Because like all these palm readers come up with this stuff, right? So here, I said no, don't do that. When he makes dua and he raises his hand, okay, whether you understand or you don't, you just give your heart to Allah. Ya Allah, Ameen, 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 Istajib, accept, Ya Rabb. So here, you can see the great benefit of having a short dua with your mind there, present. So here, Subhana Rabbil Azim 3 times, brilliant. If it's present, at least that much. Then the longer, the more beautiful, inshallah ta'ala. But here, the key thing is not to be heedless when making dua. Not to supplicate for something sinful, okay? And then he said, and la yadua, bima fihi itham. Like what? Ya Allah, destroy so-and-so. Ya Allah, ruin their house. Why they didn't give me whatever it is, you can't do that. You can't make du'as against people. This is sinful to ask Allah to destroy people's households and so forth. Ask Allah, or to bring some loss to somebody or something. And Ya Rabb, ask for halal. Ya Allah, choose what's best for them. Ya Allah, deal with them with what's right. But to make dua against, no, there's no need for that. That's not good adab. Okay, and then the last one, not to supplicate for something impossible. Okay, this is bad adab, to ask Allah for something which is impossible. Like Ya Allah, make me a prophet. May Allah raise me with a prophet. Yeah, okay, is that clear? Ya Allah, give that girl in marriage. She's married, bro. You can't ask him for Allah to destroy their marriage so you can marry her or something. No, ask. Just think about what you're asking. And when you don't know what to do or what to ask for, then alhamdulillah, these type of lessons become really important, because then you've got Quranic du'as that you can learn and lots of hadith from the Prophet ﷺ that you bring under your wing and you start to use. And then one of the easiest things to say is, Ya Allah, I ask you for whatever Rasulullah would ask for in his du'as, and I seek refuge in you from whatever the Prophet sought refuge. So something like this would be good. So these are the prerequisites, quite clear, okay? Now you've got etiquettes for acceptance, okay? What we call adab of dua, أن يتخير الأوقات الفاضلة كأن يدعو في السجود وعند الأذان والإقامة. And so here, recommended times or places. It's being smart about when you read. Is that clear? There's a hikmah in why the Prophet ﷺ, told us about certain times. And the fact that he mentioned sallallahu alaihi wasallam adhan or after prayer. Okay, there's a wisdom there, isn't there? Okay, and so it's trying to take benefit of those times. Now you're in the masjid. After Maghrib. When I should think about what do I need at Maghrib. When the fast is about to break and you break your fast, you make that dua. Something that's dear to you. Like what? In those moments you forget because you're so hungry, you become preoccupied by the great feast in front of you. But we shouldn't lose sight of what we want. We want, inshallah, is a good end. To die on Iman, inshallah ta'ala. And I want it for my children, children's children, my loved ones. Great, bigger things, Allah enters into Jannah without hisab or kitab and so forth. So here, look for those times. And Ramadan is full of great moments. When you recite Quran, at the end of your Quran recitation, turn to Allah in dua. Take advantage of the Taraweeh prayer. Taraweeh prayer is amazing. All these, wallah, you look at the book coming in, and you think, oh my God. There's nothing, no other force, no other program that brings people in like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, great wisdom. We have Jummah every week, they come in. But in Taraweeh, people you never would think would walk in, they walk in. And so imagine a congregation like that, where the Muslims are leaving their footy, they're leaving those things that they like to do, and they're coming into the house of Allah or place designated and praying, nafil prayer, right? Sunnah mu'akkada, like an optional prayer of just pure love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you imagine that congregation, how illuminated it is for the people of the heavens and how beloved it must be to Allah. No wonder Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't come out again, right? Because he was so scared. They say that he was scared it might become fard. You can see why, because it is an amazing opportunity. So you don't want to be in your house, you want to be in the masjid. You want to be in those spaces. And so here, we tell everybody, go to a Taraweeh prayer. Or even in your homes, you're praying, pray it. It is one of these most amazing opportunities that people have. So look for these dua moments. Okay, dua moments. Sahri, powerful. Sahri time, powerful. But you're tired. You've been awake the whole night. Towards the end, you're like, you just want to eat and close my roza, pray for and go to bed. Just quickly, bring the prante, please. Hurry up. So here, the himmah can go very easily. So keeping that in mind, that this last half an hour, this is gold dust, bro. This is where I need to hit the prayer mat, get my head down, even if it's for a few moments, and make dua to Allah, earnestly, sincerely, begging Allah for what you feel is important for you. So here, that's one. The other thing is, you have, what we call it, here he mentions the commentary, like in sajda, make dua in sajda. When you go into sajda, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what is important for you. And then he said at adhan and iqam as well. Then he said taqdeemul wudu, okay, was salah, to before you make, I didn't add salah there, but wudu, to be in the state of wudu, more likely your du'as will be answered. To pray salah and then to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, salah is amazing. You say Allahu Akbar, you've declared this oneness to God. Then you say Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabaraka ismuka wa ta'ala. That praise of Allah. Then you read the Fatiha. Then you read these verses of the Quran. Then you remember all praise Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu Rabbana lakal hamd. Allah Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Subhan. So you're all thana, all praise. Then at the end you ask Allah for what you want. And when you praise Allah sincerely like that, then how can it not be that Allah will, how can it be possible that Allah will answer your du'as? Of course, inshallah, Allah will answer your du'as. He wants to answer your du'as. And that's why we say make du'a at the end of the prayer. Of course, Rasulullah gave us some du'as, which we're going to come to when we get to that point. Facing Qibla, great. Ramadan, as much as possible, sit facing Qibla, inshallah ta'ala. Raise your hands when you make dua. You can make dua from your heart, but it's better adab. Remember, looking at etiquette, to raise your hands. How do you raise your hands? You might have them here. You might have them here. There's moments in Ramadan your hands are going to be like that. You're going to like that because now you're really begging. As the Prophet also made dua in Badr, at night he was making dua. His hands were so high up. His armpits were showing, the whiteness of the armpits was evident, and the jubbah that he had on his shoulder fell off. Begging Allah. If you want to, that's a dua for your house. And you go into your front room at night. Raise your hands on your knees. You stand, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. That's not one to go and do in the square. This is for the house. Alone in privacy, begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, raising your hands, very important, because this is a sign of faqr, poverty, and begging. Because a beggar does what? Just give me some money for Allah's sake. Give me. So here, we beg with honor. There's no better door than begging at the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is going to get more intense towards the end when it comes to i'tikaf, because the i'tikaf, he steps it up. He's not begging from home, he's coming to the house of Allah. I'm begging, I'm not leaving this door. You get it? So it's like being at the door of the Kaaba. You get it? At the door of the Kaaba. So, Ya Rab, and that feeling that you get. Okay, anybody who's been near the door of the Kaaba will know it's quite intense and amazing. And so here, repent before dua. And this is a good one to make tawbah. You know, take a bath, go and pray 2 rak'ahs salat al-tawbah, and then cry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfirullah for all the fajrs I've missed and the prayers I've missed and all the haram that I've committed and so forth. And then you get it, approach Allah by having the bath, okay, and then 2 rak'ah shukr, or maybe give some sadaqah, okay, and then turn. And this is important to be done for everybody in the month of Ramadan. And then you've got al-i'tiraf bil-dhanb, okay, which is part of the tawbah, to sort of admit and to have I can't remember the word. Well-ikhlasu, and intent, which is sincerity. Okay, did I put that there? Repent. No, I missed it, I think, but there's sincerity. Start dua with praise. Okay, iftitah bil hamd. Ya Rabb, alhamdulillah, Allahumma anta rabbi, la ilaha illa anta khalaqtani wa ana abdu. The Sayyid al-Istighfar, beautiful. Yeah, read that with meaning before you turn to Allah begging, because now when you do thana of Allah with that dua, Allahu Akbar, very beautiful. Find some other praise that you have in Taraweeh prayer. How beautiful is this dua? It would be great to have the English here, right? Because then at least you know what you're saying. You might, as you're reading that dua, amazing praise. Because sometimes we've got to learn praise from others. How do I praise Allah? How do I praise Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and so forth? So here, find that. You find this also in Salat al-Istikhara. In Namaz al-Istikhara, you'll find the etiquette is to do thana of Allah before you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dua. So you've got iftitah, followed by salawat on the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this is good to have in every dua, and then in the middle of your dua, and at the end of your dua. And so these are the core things to have in your du'as. Ibn Ata al-Iskandari, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the Shaykh mentions that he said, وَأَعْلَمْ أَنَّ الدُّعَاءَ وَأَعْلَمْ أَنَّ لِلدُّعَاءِ أَرْكَانًا وَأَجْنِحَةً وَأَسْبَابًا وَأَوْقَاتًا. He said, know that dua, has pillars and wings and asbab, a means, exactly, to getting answered, and times. Okay, and then he mentioned some of these. So he mentioned from the pillars of du'as, a presence of heart. Okay, to have hudurul qalbi. Okay, this keeps coming up again and again and again and again. You get it? And this is something to focus on. Remember, the fast is trying to have taqwa all the time. You got it? And taqwa means you're on the ball. You get it? You're aware. You're conscientious that Allah's watching you all the time. And the state of being and witnessing all the time. So that's presence. Whatever you do, wherever you go, work, leisure, sitting down somewhere, you're conscious that Allah's watching you. So here, when you make dua, you get a presence of heart. So soft heart, he said. Then he said, ar-riqqa. Okay, is that clear? Okay. Some people have hard hearts, right? And so here, breaking down, crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? Brokenness, even if you have to pretend. Like for example, some people can't cry. They don't know how to cry. They just, even at matams, they don't cry. They just look at each other and say, Allah marzi, and they don't. And here, it's good to even pretend to cry. You get it? When you're alone, you might need to be alone to do this, okay? Some people have a button they press, they cry whenever they want. The kids are brilliant at it. So here, some people have really soft hearts. They can cry over anything. A good moment they cry, MashaAllah, they've got tears flowing down. They're very fortunate, it seems like it, because they've got soft hearts. Some of us our hearts become stone. Become, because of the dunya and what we're exposed to, they become rough. It has to be broken down. Descale it. You got to use something to remove the dirt from the heart. So here, finding a way to cry. You get it. This is a good thing to do in the du'a, and then to have istikana. You get it, where you have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, and have Allah and khushu. Okay, Okay, so here, brokenness and fear of Allah. Okay, but how do I do that? Like when you read Quran, you realize this incredible Lord who created and perfected this universe and these type of things. Then you realize where you are. Sometimes you need to look at planet Earth in comparison in size to the sun, and then you realize, Ya Latif, how immense this universe is, and this Lord is who perfected and created and so forth. So here, heart connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, and one of the best ways to do this is read Quran, read Quran, read Quran. One of the best things you can do. I had a group of kids today. I was supposed to teach them Islamic studies, and I said to them, how much Quran have you read? And I asked them, I probed them, and they were a bit shy, and they didn't want to tell me. And they just shook their heads. Like I said, how much Quran have you read in the past? Like in last Ramadan. And I was like, 1 page? Got it. These are teenagers. Okay. So one of them, Allah bless, she said, I read half, I think my record was like half a Quran. And I thought, you know what? Scrap the Islamic studies. So look, I'm going to help you. Open your Qurans up, and I'm going to help you. Let's all read a little bit. Okay, just read. Make sure you read with your tongue. Okay, you don't read loud. Okay, put your finger on it. And I helped them. SubhanAllah. After half an hour, 45 minutes, I said, how many you read? 11 pages, 15 pages, 16 pages. Okay, I hope, inshallah, that this will be a means of them now being inspired. And I want to finish the first juz, the second juz. There's no better way to connect with Allah than the book of Allah. You see, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it, it becomes a key part of Ramadan. You're supposed to, what did the predecessors do? They left everything and they just read Quran and read Quran and read Quran. We can't do that, can we? As someone asked us yesterday, you can't just all leave our work and studies. We're just away, England is, and but carry on. But wherever you can fit it in. Like where? You look at your time to think, where can I fit Quran in? You'll find before going to work, maybe as you sit in the car, you start your car, you're waiting for it to warm up. You'll find you get a page in or 2 pages in. You'll find that breaks at school, for example, or work. You can suddenly give life to those little things. And the example that comes to mind is like the garden. You're a master of making, taking benefit of spaces. Yeah, as an architect, right? This is your thing, right? And you know how it's done. You have a bad garden, an ugly garden, or a dump. And when you clean it up, suddenly you throw for your seeds in. Wow. And so here, we've got to do the same spiritually. And in our time, we've got to look for where we put a little garden in, little corner, a few flowers coming up. That might be just before I go to work. That might be at break. That might be, and so here, and you'll find everybody has it. Everybody has, if they look at it, they'll find 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, if they want to. And in this month, you must want it. You have to tell yourself, I've got to do it. I've got to push myself. I've got to find a way. The whole world's reading Quran. How can I not read Quran? So get your children involved. Sit them down, read with them, help them. Young and old, everybody should be on the Quran. Can't read English? Arabic, read English better. Here, read a few pages. Allah bless you. And this is why something like this is really good for the kids. You got to give it to them, get them to fill it in. You got to inspire them, inshallah. They don't want zero there, they want to put a few numbers in. So here, heart connected to Allah, read Quran. Lots of it, lots of it, lots of it. Especially if you've never finished a khatam. Tell yourself, I'm going to do a khatam. Say, well, it takes me an hour to read a sparab. Or even an hour and a half. And who said you can't do a khatam in Ramadan if it takes an hour and a half? You get it? Is it possible? Of course it's possible. You get it? Just break your day up. Half an hour. You might be 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. You get it? On the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, say, I'm going to sit here from Dhuhr to Asr, I'm not moving. Khalas. Like people do. You know, they sit, they find a quiet place where nobody can disturb them. And the biggest disturbance is the fact that you leave it in the car. Yeah, I'm not taking it to the masjid. Get it? How urgent can it be? I've done my shopping already. Get it? Khalas. Go find a little space. That's it. I'm not moving. I'm going to buy a record. I'm going to do 10 juz today or 5 juz and so forth, depending whatever you're on. And fulfilling the meaning, I wasn't sure how to translate this, but maybe I'll come back to it another time. And then he said wings of dua. He said, look, he said, so he said the pillars of dua, as he mentioned, and then he said, whoever fulfills these arkan pillars becomes strong. And then become strong in a right. So, and then when they get the wings of the dua in, okay, they start to fly. Okay, so he mentioned those. Okay, the ajniha, they start to fly. And then if they get the timing right, okay, they become successful. Okay, and then if they get the asbab, khalas, dua answered. And then lastly, dua, times of dua, one of the best times, early morning, as he mentioned earlier. So this is twice. This has been emphasized twice. And then he said the means of salawat, and that's mentioned earlier as well. Now, du'as are sometimes they're answered instantly. Okay, so like you make a du'a, you ask for something, Allah gives it to you. And sometimes it's delayed. This is really important to realize that Allah will answer it when He wants to. You get it? There's no doubt He will answer it, but when He wants to. You get it? At the time that He had. And sometimes they're answered, but one is given something better. And so I have to have yaqeen that my du'a has been answered. Allah gave me better. I ought to tell my kids, I said, look, I would love to have a Porsche. You get it? They said, how come you ain't got one? I said, because if I had one, I probably wouldn't be alive. You get it? It's just true because it's, you know, so here, sometimes it's not the best thing for you. Sometimes, you know, I've been asking Allah for so many years, and you ain't got it because it's not the best thing for you. You know, maybe you say, Allah, maybe He gave you something else and you didn't even realize. You know, something even greater and bigger and better and more beautiful. Okay? And sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers your du'as by saving it for you in the akhirah. You know, where you really need it. And so here I have to understand du'as are answered in different ways. My job is not to, you know, get du'a. My job is to beg Allah. You know, if I've got du'a in my life, so alhamdulillah. So best place to start is 5 daily prayers. At the end of them, stop, make a du'a. Okay, short, sweet, it's up to you, but from the heart. And then if you can extend it and make it grow, you know, in Ramadan, maybe tell yourself, I'm going to have 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour of dua every day. But I don't know what to read. Well, get a book of the Sunnah, you know, Fortresses or Kitab al-Adhkar, the book of remembrance by Imam Nawawi, and you've got the Adhkar of Day and Night by ITS Islamic Text Society. It's some beautiful book, and just read them. Read the translation if you wish. Okay. Allah we need to look at this text because when we put it up, it changes, doesn't it? So we need to look at. It's not in our. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. You've got. What time is it now? 22. Okay. Anybody have a question before we go on? Any questions? No. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Even 1 hour sometimes a bit long, you know. Especially at the end of the day, I look at subhanAllah, children and people doing work. I think Allahu Akbar, how amazing. Yeah, people go, they go to work in the morning. You know, like subhanAllah, I stayed awake the whole night, prayed and so forth, and I had a good little nap. Even then, I woke up like out of it, and I taught in the morning. But I was thinking about subhanAllah how beautiful it is, the children. You got it. You kept it all there, yeah? Amazing. How amazing is that? How beautiful must that be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You know, young teenagers keeping Rosa, going to school, get it? Going through those lessons, watching other people eat, talk, whatever, come back, go masjid, you know, and then attend here, look here. And even for those, mashallah, who've been working all that, Allah bless you. So I think I'm just going to call it a day. Or shall I do one? Yeah. Okay. What does that mean? Because you, yeah, it becomes normal. So because somebody's reading the same dua again and again, and so here, is that what they're trying to say, that they? Yeah. I mean, so if I understand the question correctly, you know, so how do you counter that? How do I counter this? I read Fatiha, every day, like, and I read it again and again and again. I don't feel the same thing. I'm no expert, but my understanding is this. One of the things I found really beneficial is understanding it in English. Even to this day, even though I've read it, been studying Arabic for a few years, but I still feel sometimes I still need to translate it. So as I'm reading, I'm translating because it hits home when I translate it. It's my mother tongue at the end of the day. Like even إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, I can get it in Arabic, right? But sometimes I still need to translate it for it to hit home. This is where this is why the push before Ramadan was like, understand your namaz. Go and learn the translation of what Subhanakallah wa bihamdika means, because once you get the meaning right, because one of the problems you read in Arabic, you don't get it. You're just reading it, right? It's rote reading, right? So so here, if you can understand the meaning, then you know what you're asking for. You get it? Once you look at the praise of Fatiha, it sort of blows you away because it's so profound. And then this is why even your Taraweeh prayer, one of the goals you can make is to memorize what Qul Ahad means. That when that surah is being read, and maybe if there's a focus on that, and then the last 10 surahs that have been read, you get it. So every rak'ah, when you hear it again, it does something to you, because you say, Qul huwa Allah. Yeah, got it. And you got the story of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala. Yeah, it makes sense. So I think understanding the meaning really makes a big difference. Now, for sure, you can take it higher by understanding the commentary of it or something. I think the other thing you do is by varying your du'as, changing the du'as. Some du'as should remain the same, but to add to your repertoire, to increase, Well, no, you have anything to add to that? Good. So sometimes leave the paper and just go with your heart. And in your broken, thank you for that. So broken, in the way you say it, you might say in Punjabi, you might say it in your, Ammiya, colloquial, but it's from the heart. Ya Allah, sort it out, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you get it? That's a beautiful dua. When it comes broken from the heart, it's beautiful. So it's good to balance it. Have scripture. Okay, I heard a beautiful dua in Medina from one of my teachers. Like, wow, that is so beautiful. He said, Shaykh Adnan, he said, oh Allah, Allah maj'al. He said, oh Allah, make every atom in my body servitude to you. I said, wow, that's beautiful. You got it, like you could make, Ya Allah, give me, make me a true servant or whatever. But these were words from it, and I just found it really profound. So it's good to listen to other people's du'as. Get it? You can be inspired by hearing what people ask for and how they talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope that answers now. Let's do one dua. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَائِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. In this beautiful ayah, which is probably the first, you know what? Can somebody answer this? So if we're saying supplications from the Quran, can you find a supplication before this? This is ayah 1, what is it? Surah Baqarah 127, right? Surah number 2. Can you find a dua before this? What do you think? Yeah, well done. Who said that? Well done, yeah. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. That's your first dua in Fatiha. Allah. And even the Fatiha, you start with praise of Allah and then you say, Allah guide me. So technically speaking, you see what I mean? So you've got lots of du'as in the Quran, and this is not an exhaustive list. Anyhow, in this beautiful ayah, okay, وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Beautiful ayah. And it's the what is it? The dua on the tongue of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Subhanallah. Yeah. And so here, and remember when Ibrahim was raising the foundations of the house, إِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَائِدَ, and Ismail was raising with him. Okay. And along with this, must say, our Lord, Rabbana, accept from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, innaka sami al-alim, and the all-knowing. This is a beautiful dua. There's some really beautiful things here. Right? So on this ayah, when you say Rabbana, so I want you to memorize it. Rabbana, say Rabbana, Rabbana, Rabbana. I'm not going to read the mouth, okay? Which is nice. But Rabbana, taqabbal minna. Yeah? Say again, Rabbana, taqabbal minna, innaka antas sami'ul alim. Ready? ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ربنا, oh our Allah, Ya Allah, تقبل منا, accept it from us. إنك أنت السميع, verily إنك أنت, verily you, Ya Allah, السميع, you all hearing, you hearing my dua, al-alim, all knowing. So here this dua, so beautiful, right? Okay, so you're saying, oh our Lord, to accept from us. But what are you doing? Are you building a house? Are you building a masjid? What are you raising some bricks? No. This dua has been left as a sunnah for this ummah, that they make this dua after every good action that they do. So what they say is that here, a taqabbal minna, our actions, Ya Allah, accept them from us. Our abid, our taraweeh prayer, accept them from us. At the end of your fast, you say, Ya Allah, read this, Ya Allah, accept our roza from us. You get it? The ladies, when finish cooking, say, Ya Allah, accept this khidmah from us. You see, at the end of it, you say, Ya Allah, accept this dars from us, our coming here. So this dua is to be used at the end of every good action. Much bigger than just at the end of namaz. Okay? And so here, innaka, you're the all hearing. You're hearing of our du'as, Ya Allah. Al-alim. And you're all knowing of what's in our hearts, of our intentions. Sometimes what we try to do is not as good as what's in our hearts. But Ya Allah, you're well aware of all this, okay? And so here, Imam Nawawi said in his Kitab al-Adhkar, yustajab, okay? Or no, it's yustahabbu, is mustahab. Liman dafa'a zakat, whoever gives zakat, when they give zakat. Yeah? When you give zakat, you read this dua. Oh Allah, accept it from us. Innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. He said, or any sadaqah, when you give sadaqah, yeah, that you make this dua at the end of sadaqah, post sadaqah, like in Jummah you give, and they're going to have collection after every Jummah outside Taraweeh. So, Ya Rab, taqabbal minna innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. He said after sadaqah, or another, or a kafara, and so forth. Then he said, the next dua is absolutely beautiful. We'll stop here. But I like this because, to be honest with you, I never knew this until I read this, right? That how now what's expected of us is to use this dua after all the good things that we do. So one of the first things you can do is memorize it. A lot of you know this. A lot of you already know this dua. Those who don't know it, ready? Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. Inshallah ta'ala, if you use this, okay, until next week, inshallah. What time is it? Let me do another one. Are we okay? Shall we go for it? Or do you want me to end? Go for it. Because this one's beautiful as well. I might give you two du'as. You know this du'a. And those who just came from Umrah know this du'a really well. Allah says in the Quran, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. We know this one. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Beautiful dua. This is sunnah to read between Rukn Yamani. Rukn Yamani, Maqam Ibrahim. Remember that? That point from the Yemeni corner on it. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا. And you think, why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this dua for us to be read there? So this is Surah Baqarah, like a verse 250. So here, and the meaning, oh our Lord, okay, Atina fid dunya hasana. Is that translation correct? Our Lord, pour upon us patience and plant firmly our feet and give us victory. No, it's not. Okay, so it was done at 2 in the morning. So, but you have, when we send a PDF, you'll be fine, should be okay. So here, oh Rabbana, oh Allah, give us the best in this dunya. and give us the best in the akhirah, okay, and protect us, save us from azab an-nar. So appropriate for this month. Again, Rabbana, O our Lord, atina, give to us, give atina, fi dunya hasana, the best in the, a hasana, what does hasana mean? We'll explain that a bit. But if we go with this loose translation, give us the best in this dunya. The best, what's the best? Most people think best is a house in Beaconsfield, or Amersham, or something. No, it's not. Not necessarily. You want what's best for your deen, dunya and akhirah. Give me the best in this dunya, that's going to be the best for my deen, dunya and akhirah. And give us the best in the akhirah. And protect us from Jahannam. Waqina azab an-nar. And protect us from the fire of hell. So this hasan, I won't look at this. What is this hasan best, right? So the scholars said this hasana is a ni'mah. It gives us blessings, ni'm. Okay? And some say no, here it could mean afiyah, well-being. Afiyah is a really big word. Exactly. Comprehensive in its meaning. Like protection and care, intensive care in everything that we do. Is that clear? So it's very powerful, that is very beautiful. Because you look at intensive care, doctor will tell you there's a lot of systems in place to protect that patient. You get it? And when you beg Allah, you ask Allah, Ya Allah, give me that type of attention, give me that type of care. Allahu Akbar. And all your matters are, when you fidget, their beep goes off, right? They know somebody's moving. If you got Allah on your side like that, but you got to ask for it, right? So here, al-afiyah, or some say here it means, Allah, give me a pious wife. So all those who are looking to get married, or husband Ramadan, leave it now. Okay, a lot of people get married on the 27th night. There's a lot of them, they were busy 27th night. Why do you choose that day to have your nikah done? Like, go find another day, 27th night, no time for nikahs. Go straight to the masjid, get Salat al-Tasbih in, prepare yourself for this great finale, okay, of Tarawih prayer, grand, ending, right, of the blessed Quran, and the beginning again, they start again. One of the men who used to walk in the market of Damascus, Abu Yahya, I remember him, beautiful face, not very tall, small beard, English clothes. He sometimes carry a sack and walk. And his son was an electrician and he used to collect coins. Okay, and 27th night, I went to the masjid and I walked in Shaykh Muhyiddin ibn Arabi's masjid, and there was something different in the air. You could feel, like there's tension or something. Something you walk in the house, something's not right. But there was something in the air that was awe-striking, and you could tell something had happened, but I wasn't really sure what it was. And then subhanAllah, they said, oh, man died here. And there's a water fountain in the courtyard. And he said, right here. Oh, and then actually, no, we saw the Na'ash. So his body was there, all wrapped up ready for the janazah after Fajr. I thought, subhanAllah. Then afterwards, I went to see his son, Abu Yahya, to give condolences. And he told me, because on that night, my father went home, took a bath, 27th night, broke his fast, took a bath, wore his jubbah, and went straight to the masjid. Didn't wait around, straight to the masjid. Then he prayed until Isha. Then Isha came, he prayed Salat al-Isha, prayed Taraweeh prayer. Shaykh Muhammad Suh, he had Shaykh Sam, his father-in-law, they used to do Salat al-Tasbih. Beautiful prayer, by the way. Okay, another one to get in maybe early. It's just Salat al-Tasbih on the 27th night. He prayed Salat al-Tasbih. Then he stayed in the masjid the whole night like everybody else does. Then he took the hose pipe and he started to wash the courtyard. And he washed the entire courtyard. Okay. Then he made wudu. Then he came back and he lied down next to the water fountain and never woke up again. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. Right, 20. Did he know he's going? Looks like he did. Get it? He even prepared it, washed it all, made it all ready, made wudu, had time to be able to do that. Allahu Akbar. So here, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasana. Some say pious wife, okay, or pious husband, whichever way. With dar al-wasi'ah, and an expansive house. So here, oh Allah, give me the best in this dunya. You get it? Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you may have an intention in that. And then it says, and the best in the akhirah. And the best in the akhirah, okay, whatever, Jannah, entering Jannah by safety without reckoning. So when you're reading this ayah, that comes to mind. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. Ya Allah, give us the best. This shows you there's no harm asking for the best car, best house. Ask this from the treasures of Allah. And then asking Allah to save you from Jahannam, okay, and the reckoning, okay, and then it says and protect you from Adhab al-Nar. And the Prophet said to Sayyidina Aisha, which becomes and was well-known dua of Ramadan, he said, Salillah al-afiyah. Salillah al-afiyah fi darain. Ya Aisha, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for afiyah, a well-being in this dunya and the akhirah. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. He has a bit more. We end with that. So we want you to all memorize these du'as. We want you to use these du'as. Post fasting, post Quran recitation, end with this du'a. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim. At the end of your working day, because your work has been for the sake of Allah, Rabbana, as you leave school, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim. Is that clear? The more you use, but with that, now you know the meaning of it. Now you're using it, asking Allah to accept it, inshallah ta'ala. And this one here, in your prayers and so forth, and du'as after salah, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Remember me in your du'as, inshallah ta'ala. Let's read the Fatiha for Danish and for everybody's action. Where's your car? Where's your car gone? Alhamdulillah. Let's read Fatiha. For Allah make ease for everybody in acceptance and taysir, and put barakah in our time. Give us tawfiq to remain focused and put barakah in your exam preparation, and others who are preparing. Allah make it easy for you. All these students, subhanAllah, the Ramadan coming. Inshallah, your revision is ibadah. Inshallah ta'ala, you can go approach it with that intention, inshallah ta'ala, that you're going to use these grades and these results to serve Allah's religion, inshallah ta'ala. So in that manner, it becomes an act of ibadah. Revise in the masjid. Come in the masajid. These people who got exam, come in. We should revise in the masjid. Beautiful. I'tikaf, niyyah. Allah bless your families. May Allah accept our coming here. Rabbana taqabbal minna. Innaka antas sami'ul alim. Ya Allah, we ask you for the best in this dunya. Ya Allah, we ask you for steadfastness. Ya Allah, we ask you for ta'a, obedience. Ya Allah, we ask you for whatever Rasulullah would ask in his du'as and seek refuge in you. Whatever Rasulullah sought refuge. Ya Allah, we ask you al-afiyah. We ask you for well-being. Ya Allah, we ask you for this intensive care of yours, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, bless these people that are present and those that are listening. Ya Allah, accept our fasts and accept our charity. Ya Allah, put barakah in our time. Ya Allah, make us servants that you love. Ya Allah, they love you, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, we thank you for the ni'mah of Islam, Ya Allah, and it suffices as a blessing. Ya Allah, we thank you for this kalima of shahada, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, we thank you for your giving us Islam and Iman and raising us in these families, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, atmim hadhi ni'mah. Ya Allah, complete your favor on us, Ya Rabbal Alameen, by making and sealing our end on La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Allah, bless our teachers, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give them the best reward, Ya Allah. Accept their khidmah, Ya Rabbal Alameen, their teaching and their ilm, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Put barakah and everything. Ya Allah, bless our parents, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, those that passed away, shower your rahmah upon them, Ya Allah. Those that are alive, Ya Rabbal Alameen, Allah bless them. Put barakah in their lives, put barakah in their ibadah, put barakah in their health, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, give us tawfiq to serve them and grant us their pleasure, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, make our children the coolness of our eyes, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, give us tawfiq to raise them pious men and women. Ya Allah, whatever du'as our brothers and sisters have here, Ya Allah, give them better than they can ever imagine. Ya Allah, bless those that passed away from this community, from those related to the loved ones here. Ya Allah, bless our brother boss, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give him the highest in Jannah, Ya Rabbal Alameen. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاك الله خيرا. بارك الله فيكم. الحمد لله. يا حبيبي أنت حبيبي السلام عليكم. نعطيك تنجد يا السلام عليكم. ماشي. Listening to Allah, inshallah. Inshallah. Day off. That's okay. We're working.